Hello friends, welcome to the YouTube channel of KLEB at Ankola. So in this video, we'll be learning about crop production and management. Plants prepare their own food by photosynthesis, and animals, including humans, depend upon the plants and nature for their food. But in order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management, and distribution of food is necessary. And here is the importance of crop production and management. Then, what is a crop? The plants of the same kind cultivated at one place on a large scale is called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means that all the plants grown in a field are that of wheat. Now, we will move on to the various agricultural practices in India. First, let us learn about the types of crops or cropping patterns based on the extrinsic factors of the environment. India is a vast country. The climatic conditions like temperature, humidity, and rainfall vary from one region to another. Accordingly, there is a rich variety of crops grown in different parts of the country. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns can be identified. They are kharif crops and rabi crops. The crops which are sown in the rainy season are called kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut, and cotton are the kharif crops. The crops grown in the winter season, that is from October to March, are called rabi crops. Examples of rabi crops are wheat, gram, pea, mustard, and linseed. Besides these, pulses and vegetables are grown during summer at many places. The summer season crops are also called as zaid crops, and they grow for a short time period between kharif and rabi crops, mainly from March to June. Next, let us learn about the basic practices of crop production. Cultivation of crops involves several activities undertaken by farmers over a period of time. These activities or tasks are referred to as agricultural practices. The first step among the agricultural practices is preparation of soil. One of the most important tasks in the agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose soil allows the roots to breathe easily even when they go deep into the soil. The loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of the farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. Since only a few centimeters of top layer of soil supports the plant growth, turning and loosening of soil brings the nutrient-rich soil to the top so that plants can use these nutrients. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling or plowing. There are several tools used to break soil clumps to get better yield. The main tools used for this purpose are the plow, hoe, and the cultivator. The plow is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers to the crop, removing the weeds and turning the soil. This is made of wood and is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called plowshare. The main part of the plow is a long log of wood which is called plow shaft. There is a handle at one end of the shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on the bull's necks. One pair of bulls and a man can easily operate the plow. The indigenous wooden plow is increasingly being replaced by iron plows nowadays. Hoe is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its ends and works like a blade. It is pulled by animals. The cultivator is an agricultural equipment with the frames with teeth attached to the tractor. Nowadays, plowing is done by tractor-driven cultivator. The use of cultivator saves labor and time. The next step or the agricultural practice is sowing. Sowing is the process of planting, or it is the process by which seeds are buried inside the soil. Before sowing, Good quality, clean and healthy seeds of a good variety are selected. Farmers prefer to use good seeds which give high yield. There are traditional and modern tools used for sowing. The tool used traditionally for sowing seeds is shaped like a funnel. The seeds are filled into the funnel, passed down through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. These ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. And nowadays, the seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. This sows the seeds uniformly at equal distance and depth. It ensures that seeds get covered by the soil after sowing. This protects seeds from being eaten by birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. Next is adding manure and fertilizers. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. Manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of plant and animal wastes. Farmers dump plant and animal waste in pits at open places and allow it to decompose. The decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. The decomposed matter is used as organic manure. The fertilizers are chemicals which are rich in a particular nutrient. Fertilizers are produced in factories. Some examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, NPK, etc. Continuous cultivation of crops makes the soil poor in nutrients. Therefore, farmers have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. The process of adding manure is called manuring. Another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients is through crop rotation. The successive cultivation of different crops in a specified order on the same fields is called crop rotation. Moving on to the differences between fertilizers and manure. Fertilizer is a man-made inorganic salt, whereas manure is a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung and plant residues. Fertilizer is prepared in factories, whereas manure can be prepared in the fields. Fertilizer does not provide any humus to the soil. Manure provides a lot of humus to the soil. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, whereas manure is relatively less rich in plant nutrients. Use of manure is more advantageous since the excessive use of fertilizers has made the soil less fertile and also have become a source of water pollution. The advantages of manure are: it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil, it makes the soil porous due to which exchange of gases becomes easy, it increases the number of friendly microbes and it improves the texture of the soil. The next agricultural practice is irrigation. The supply of water to crops at regular intervals is called irrigation. The sources of water for irrigation are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. There are traditional and modern methods of irrigation. The traditional methods of irrigation are pulley system, chain pump, dekli and lever system. The cattle or human labor is used in these methods. The modern methods of irrigation are sprinkler system, drip system and surface irrigation system. The next step is protection from weeds. The undesired plants that grow naturally along with the crop are called weeds. The removal of weeds is called weeding. Weeds are also controlled by using certain chemicals called weedicides like 2,4-D. These are sprayed in the fields to kill the weeds. They do not damage the crops. Next is harvesting. The cutting of the crop after it is mature is called harvesting. Harvesting in our country is either done manually by sickle or by a machine called harvester. In the harvested crop, the grain seeds need to be separated from the chaff. This process is called threshing. This is carried out with the help of a machine called combine, and the farmers with small holdings of land do the separation of grain and chaff by winnowing. The next agricultural practice, which is an important step, is storage. Storage is the phase of the post-harvest system during which the products are kept in such a way as to guarantee food security. Farmers store grains in jute bags or metallic bins. However, large-scale storage of grains is done in silos and granaries to protect them from pests like rats and insects. This is all about the crop production and management. Thank you.